Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Today's video is regarding 1,000 days no cannabis. And how did I escape the grip and addiction of drugs? I mean, simple as that, guys. This video obviously will hopefully spark the curiosity of people who were in my situation just a handful of years ago, when I was amongst my peers who did what normal 20-something-year-old university students do. You know, you're going out, partying, smoking, drinking, sniffing, girls, sex, drugs, rock and roll, underground raves, thinking we're super cool, and not really having that long-term vision that we are going to be on this planet, inshallah, for many decades. And to prepare now for that future is obviously the wisest thing we can do. So look, this is no judgment. If people are happy to live their lives doing these kind of things, that's fine. What this video is for the people who are doing it and, you know, obviously can bury their heads in the sand and enjoy it, but also have one mind on, do I really want to be doing this? Or is there more to life? Is there more that I can give? Is there more that is within me to contribute to this short and fleeting existence that we have? And so, I mean, a background would be I first started smoking cannabis when I was maybe 17 years old. And we're talking about very regular consumption, certainly from the age of 19 to 25, 6 years of practically every single day, times where maybe I stopped for a day or two or a week or two. But, you know, vast majority of the time, every single day, copious amounts, a kind of relatively poorly functioning, but nonetheless functioning weed addict. I know I graduated with university with a 2-1 degree in philosophy and managed to secure that while smoking copious amounts of cannabis. You know, even jobs when I first moved to Manchester, holding down jobs, smoking weed. But what it is when you come to a position where you ponder, can I actually stop this or not? Some people, maybe they've accepted for the entirety of my life, I wish to smoke weed. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. And that's that. Maybe they fool themselves into a false sense of security. I've got this under control. When in reality, sobriety, I feel just now would be a time where I'm in a position to share my kind of journey of not drinking alcohol, not smoking cannabis as two kind of key examples, the two most frequently utilized drugs in our society and kind of, you know, modern Western civilization and Hollywood and, you know, TV and everything like this. So my point is 1,000 days, no cannabis. It was always the last time kind of mentality. And now I feel like I've really embedded myself into a situation where, like I say, I'm just starting. 1,000 days is great, but what can 10,000 days produce? And now the biggest difference I would say is I'm able to talk, as I'm doing now, fluently and thoroughly. And even if I do lose my track, I can bring myself back. Whereas cannabis 100% affected my memory and my motivation and my ability to kind of think clearly. It really does fog and cloud the mind, that much is for sure. So I guess first and foremost, this video is for anybody who is trapped in the pit of cannabis addiction. And let's not fool ourselves. When I was 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, cannabis is not addictive, blah, 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 legalize it, everything like this. But as I have grown up, now giving a slightly more, very slightly more experienced perspective, having smoked cannabis for, like I say, 6 years, pretty much daily, and a little bit longer, you know, before that as well, I really do not recommend it in any way. I think what many people have is an image of them being like Snoop Dogg or something, or Bob Marley, and forgetting that these folk Snoop Dogg's net worth is like 150 plus million quid. Like, he's already made it, guys. He can smoke weed every day, and it's probably not going to send him as far astray. Although I don't think we should look to him as like a kind of a pillar of a person we want to be. But nonetheless, my point is, if you're like a young guy who's in debt, who's struggling to understand their own identity, who is not far on the career ladder or the relationship ladder, not married, no kids, no strong job, no resources, then looking to, oh, Snoop Dogg does it, so it's fine, is obviously pretty flawed. So, alhamdulillah, obviously part of my stopping smoking weed was the embracing of Islam, where all mind-altering substances are impermissible, prohibited, haram. And alhamdulillah, this has been, that was a big thing for me. You know, one of the probably biggest reasons for myself why there was maybe an apprehension to embrace Islam was, hold on, I'm going to have to stop smoking weed with my friends. I'm going to have to stop going out and partying, eating magic mushrooms, having a good time, experiencing the kind of wonders of these experiences, as long as they're done in some kind of moderately safe context, and Allah knows best. Then I felt at the time like, you know, this isn't kind of talk to Frank, some really menacing, dangerous thing that it's made out to be. However, I feel like it's more of a tiptoe, the totalitarian tiptoe, but it's more the kind of the wacky-backy tiptoe, that as time goes on, as you start to really center cannabis around your whole life, you know, wanting to leave work early just to get home, just to take the pressure off, just take a little bit, rip that first bong, smoke that first joint, and just recline and relax. Now I feel relaxed. Now I can, and then after that first hit, after that first experience, you're chasing that all night, smoking into the night, and waking up the next day, sometimes smoking before work. Some people don't do that. I certainly did, subhanAllah. So the difference is now that I feel like basically that first hit at the end of the day, cannabis, that's kind of like my life now. I just feel easy, breezy, feeling like, you know, just nice and settled and relaxed, and not kind of chasing or desiring cannabis, alhamdulillah. And so, you know, it's all from the will of Allah, and I don't take any kind of credit for it, but I am pleased, I am happy that I am at a point now where, you know, 1,000 days no alcohol, 1,000 days no cannabis, and approaching, 3 years Muslim. 2025 I became, when I became 25 years old, that's when I embraced Islam. 26 I got married, 27 my son was born, and 28 around the corner for myself. I feel like this second half of my 20s has put me in a position where I am able to speak to the good folk listening, anybody who has struggled with smoking cannabis in their youth. If they've abstained from the off, that's obviously ideal, because you can get so much further ahead of the game. If all that money I spent on cannabis and other drugs I put into Bitcoin or Tesla stock, or just invested in myself, like, I would be so far ahead of the game right now. It's unreal. Like, whoa, subhanAllah, everything's from Allah. I don't wish to change it, because here I am in this position now with the experience of those times. And, in many ways, yeah, it is who I am. You know, those days, really do define me. But I think my overcoming of something that I attempted to do many times and failed, now, with 1,000 days under my belt, there's legitimacy there. So 1,000 days without cannabis. This video is for those who are still in that situation. Number one, it is possible. It is possible, but my personal experience and take on the situation is a clean break. If this is something that you know is not good for you, something that is holding you back, something that ultimately you want to change, then 1 foot in, 1 foot out, lukewarm approach does not work. Get rid of it. Forget about it. Abstain from it entirely and completely, and never look to go back to it again. this whole thing of when I hit 30 days, when I hit 100 days, when I hit this target, when I hit that target, your whole life is predicated around getting back to that which you don't want to do. So, you know, some people can consume alcohol and cannabis in a way that is moderate and doesn't affect their life in a negative way. Alhamdulillah, my experience was not like that, and I see it as a huge blessing that my inability to be moderate in my consumption allowed me to relinquish my attachment to it altogether. And Allah knows best, now I'm in a position at the age of nearly 28 years old. May Allah allow me to make my birthday in 5 weeks' time or so. And 28 now, suddenly, whoa, subhanallah, 10 years experience from 18 years old. Could I learn something from my 28-year-old self when I was 18? What would that brother, that lad, that 18-year-old pup be saying to this slightly older pup right now if he was able to take on that advice, take on that information and say, look, knuckle down, subhanallah, do not wait around. Get strong, get fit, get healthy, get rich, get married, have babies, embrace Islam. Get your head down and don't do what all the people around you are doing, your peers. You know, you have so much love for these people you grew up with, you went to school with, you shared special experiences with. But ultimately, we're born alone, we die alone. We as individuals, as men, will be the heads of our own households, not co-sharing authority with our friends. Our wife, our children are under our authority. They are our responsibility to protect, to support, to guide, to safeguard. And so we have to take our own selves into consideration. And you don't realize the impact that you have when people move away, and when people start making more money, when people start focusing their life, going on the straight and narrow path, abstain from taking drugs, you have a ripple effect. Find out what you want and run towards it. And for me, I knew that what I wanted was to not smoke cannabis anymore because, you know, I smoked it. I completed it. I completed cannabis smoking. I didn't need to do it anymore. Every thing has its phase, and alhamdulillah, this current phase is the phase till the grave, and that is the phase of al-Islam, walhamdulillah. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate everybody watching. If you watched this far, then you are one of the clan. Big up your good selves, subscribe to the channel, and certainly comment down below your kind of experiences with maybe tangling and tussling with desires and drug consumption. It's not to declare your sins or anything, but just that we can help other people by saying that we've overcome something, and ultimately Allah knows best. So for one last time, remember, big up your good selves. Peace, love, blessings from your brother, Anglo-Islamic gentleman. To all the Muslims, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to any non-Muslims watching this video right now after 13 minutes, I wish nothing but peace and success on you and your family. And I do sincerely hope that you can look into Islam with an open heart, because it has changed my life in every single way for the better. And you know what we say, Alhamdulillah. Al Wiedersehen, good folk.